Welcome back to Spill That Tea. I'm Elena.
I'm Allison.
And we are replying to a comment that we got from Tanya. She asked, I'm curious to hear about your upbringing and then your cognitive dissonance moment. Did you love it while in childhood, teenage, and adulthood? I loved my upbringing. I had the most amazing parents. It is a little, rough patches right now because they don't agree with the way I live. But I absolutely loved my childhood, and when it comes to church, it's all I knew. So I didn't know anything else. I would tell other people that they're going to, going to the pit for wearing pants as a woman. Do you remember in the Garibaldi's bathroom when that woman asked, "Why do you guys wear skirts?" And we're like, "Because pants are men's apparel." Yeah.
I remember that.
No shame at all.
That's all we knew.
And then in my teenage stage, I was in the youth. We were both in the youth, and we went to a lot of youth conferences. And my only concern was finding a man. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I knew.
Because it was very pushed on us. You
really
need to find a partner. And then if you did, the pastor's like, and then it's like, why do I even try? Like, I don't even know. And then in adulthood,
I just remember you having so many crushes. So many. And I was the one that never, I liked so many boys.
Why are you ratting my out?
They never liked me. So
my boyfriend is in the next room over.
You did, it's a reality.
Okay.
They were good. You never did anything.
Correct. I don't want to sound suspicious, but it is correct. Very correct. And then in my adulthood, it was off and on for me. Like, I had a love for, the way that I was raised, and then there was kind of what is that called when you just hate it? I don't know. Let's just say like a hate towards it. So it was like I hated it one day, then I loved it the other day.
I'm wanting to say bitter, but I really don't know about bitter.
Well, yeah, because I loved it, and then I would turn bitter towards it. And then as far as cognitive dissonance, the moment that I realized I want to leave, it was kind of a build-up. There wasn't really a moment that I was like, okay, I'm going to leave this day until it happened. I do remember my cousin had asked me to watch her kids, and I was like, yeah, sure, we'll watch them over at grandma's, and we're going to spend the night. And I grabbed 2 of my largest luggage bags, and I packed them full of my stuff. And Mom didn't ask any questions. I'm like, I'm just going over to babysit. And then I wrote my mom and dad a letter, and the next morning they're like, hey, we're coming to pick you up for prayer. And I texted them the letter, which was saying, please give me some time. I'm done. I'm burnt out. Because in the times that I felt like I was doing good, I was told that they were worried about me. And then when I was struggling, they said, we feel like you're doing really good. And it was so confusing to me. And I told my mom that the other day, and she's like, honey, I was telling you that I was worried about you because I knew once you started doing good, the spirits were going to be after you.
That's confusing.
I'm like, you should have told me that. Not that would have changed much, but yeah. And so it was kind of a build-up. I left for one day when I was 18, and it was when my grandpa had passed, and it was the scariest thing ever. Mom and dad tracked me down. They had my location, tracked me at my grandma's, and then Mom's like, do you want to talk to Pastor? And I'm like, no, not really. Yeah. And she invited him over anyways, and he was talking to me, and I did not look at him once, and Mom's like, Elena, look at him, and he kept asking me, so what are you gonna do? And I just didn't answer. I was done. I was mad at God for letting my grandpa die because my grandpa is so young. And a lot of the people in the church had died around that time. Like text after text, I'm like, oh Lord, who has died now?
Right?
Huh?
That was like 2020, right?
It was right during COVID, yeah. Because my grandpa died July of 2020.
Yeah.
So, and then over to you.
Yeah, for me, I had a pretty happy childhood. I actually loved it. I miss being a child. I honestly.
I miss schooling.
I hated school. No.
There was no responsibility. You came home, you ate a sandwich, maybe had to like get the trash out, and you're done.
I hated school. When I was at school, I remember just so many memories with like my parents and stuff like that. Good memories because we'll touch on it later.
Yeah,
but there's
good.
there's like we didn't have like any TV or anything, so we had to use our imagination, do our own
Natural entertainment.
things. And I personally had a very, very active imagination, so I could keep myself busy for hours. I loved my childhood. As I grew up, I was actually just turned into a teenager, 13 years old. That's when my mom did leave the church at first, and I was very mad.
I was very surprised.
I was very angry at her, and because that's what like she said multiple times, like we were raised that way. I'm like, why would you leave me? And I felt very abandoned, and so I think that's when it might have kind of started for me, because I was starting to become angry at God. I'm like, hey, why did she do this? Why did this? Blah blah blah. As I got older, more into my teens, I got a little bit more angry, a lot more angry.
Your anger really built up. You really built a wall up.
Yeah, I shut
no
myself
emotions.
down. Yeah, I shut myself down completely. And part of that was because I didn't want to like make my dad worry more, and because I saw his heart was breaking.
That was
a rough
so hard
time.
to see your dad go through that.
It was
Uncle
a rough
Chad, no.
It was a rough time for him, so I'm like, I don't want to show any emotion. I don't want to show that I'm doing terribly too, because then it's going to be sorry, my phone went off in my ears.
Oh.
I forgot I had my earbuds in.
What are you doing?
Because I had to watch him. I didn't want to worry him at all, so I became very emotionless. Didn't show my emotions, which was so bad for me later on. I got to a very dark place at one point. And then a couple years later, when I was like 20, actually no, that was like pretty soon afterwards.
After what?
That really dark place.
Oh yeah.
It was, I'm gonna say a couple months afterwards. I just shut down. I was not doing like wholeheartedly in church.
She kind of shut herself off from everybody, and I remember in that time I was told stay away from Allison. Nobody is to talk to Allison, and I was like, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Because that's only gonna make it worse. I felt so bad for her, because even though she was surrounded by so much family, she was alone, completely alone. Not even her dad or her stepmom would even talk to her.
I forgot about my stepmom. Thing is, the evil stepmom thing is real. Not all of them, but I understand.
She accused Allison of some pretty nasty things.
I can get into that later if y'all want, just not now.
It's crazy how pure the church is, but how hypocritical bigotry is so bad.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So yeah, after, I think it was 2 years ago now, when I was 21, I went to my dad at some point and I told him that I messed up again. Thing is, he thought I was watching some sort of like really bad stuff.
Corn.
Yeah, and I was just simply watching videos. We weren't allowed to watch videos. I simply just watched like a AGT video or something like that. And I told my dad about it. And he immediately thought it was the worst thing possible, and he's like, all right, you gotta move out. Secretly, I was so excited. I was so happy.
I don't think you realized that I was gonna leave church.
I had no idea.
Anybody.
I had no idea.
I think she was gonna leave the week that I left. And
Yeah,
then when I left, she's like, well, I don't want people to think that we left together.
So a week later, I left. Like, I very slowly stopped going to church. I called in sick, and then I just didn't go back.
Then apparently a rumor went around that we left to be lesbian.
Yes.
But that's not true. Anyways, that is our response to your question. Thanks.
Thank
bye.
you.
Okay.